Hi, my name is Laura Ernest from lauraernest.com, and tonight I want to show you the OneNote book journal that I have created. I have tracked my reading for a number of years, and moving it to OneNote was the next logical step in its evolution. I like to keep track of what I'm reading, both from a standpoint of quantity and also the quality of what I'm reading. I'm a voracious reader. I can go anywhere from 6 to 15 books a month, and it's important to me to track those books that I really enjoy as well as those authors that I consistently enjoy. Keeping track of my books also allows me to make sure that I'm not accidentally rereading something that I pick up and the book description on the back sounds great, but when I'm reading it, I realize it sounds very familiar. So, keeping a book journal allows me to do all of those things. I created this book journal in OneNote as because I can access OneNote from my computers, from the web, or from my portable devices. And it is a fairly straightforward notebook. First thing is it has a table of contents. Now, this book journal will hold 100 books, and I have split the table of contents into 25 book sections simply from manageability. Each of the sections is linked, so if you click on the number, it will take you to the page. And even if you change the page title, the links will still work. This is a book I read and I filled out the information, and then each of the pages has a link back to home. So to start out, you can fill out your table of contents. I have a star system on these pages, and this is very easy to do with the draw menu. You just select your highlighter and you draw across the stars to give it a rating. Once you've done the table of contents, you can link to the page and fill it out. I generally start with a brief book title and the last name of the author. And then I fill in the form. We have the title, the author, the date started and ended, the genre, number of pages, where I got the format of the book and where I got the book from, and then any series information. And there's two sections here, a summary of the book and then why I like or disliked it. I find that last section is very important because I can get caught up in the plot without realizing that the book is rather thin on character, or as in one book I recently read, it was like the author had taken the trope dictionary and shook it out over the book. So I'm going to fill this out for the inheritance games. Once the book is filled in, I can go on to the next book or add any other notes that I want to. Along with the individual summaries of the books, I do have a series tab. This allows you to keep track of the series, and this book series page is like a table of contents for this, and then you have an individual page for the series. And so I'm going to fill this out for the inheritance game. Now I could link this to my series page, but I'm going to go and fill out the series page first before doing the linking. So I hop over here and I can change the name and then fill out the rest of the information. Once I have filled out the series, I can go back to my book series and create a link to that particular page. And here I am linking to the series. So now I can jump immediately to the series and back and forth. Now I can also go back to my book page and link to the series as well. So in that way, I can link between the various parts of the system and keep track of what is going on. The last part of this book is the Up Next, which has two sections, to be read and a wish list. To be read, I use these very differently. The to be read are the things that I have read about that maybe next in a series or is an upcoming book that I know an author is going to release. The wish list are things that are generally passed on to me for other people, where people say, oh, you really need to read such and such. So I keep track of them separately, but in both sections, I do have a why they are on the list. And so that tells me where I have gotten the information from. If it's a continuation of a series, I generally don't put a why, but if somebody recommends it, I put the name of the person who recommends it in here. Between the series lists and the up next, I have a good foundation if I'm going to the library or, heaven forbid, going to the bookstore, because I will know what I can buy. I always take this with me when I go to the bookstore to make sure I am not purchasing books that I have already read, and it has saved me a ton of money to be able to do that. So that is my book journal. I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you are interested in purchasing the book journal, it is available from my store at lauraernest.com, and there will be a link in the show notes. Thanks for watching.